Hello, Scorpio, Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Rising, and Scorpio Moon. This is your February 2019 tarot forecast, and I'm Poetic Heretic. Now, here's what happened. I started the stream previously, and we had some technical difficulties. The connection was lost as I was beginning to read the first couple of cards, but now we're back, so there's not really anything I can do about that. So what I'm going to do is, since I've already drawn cards for you, I still have them right here. I'll just start the reading over again. Unfortunately, you won't get to see me shuffle the cards this time around. But I think the path of least resistance from here is basically to just to give the reading starting again with the cards that I've already drawn for all of my Scorpio people out there. So I apologize for that, but there's nothing I can do about it. The internet's gone out several times today. I think it's possibly something to do with the wretched weather around here. So there's nothing I can do about it. Such things hardly ever happen, but they do sometimes. So we just kind of have to deal with them as best we can. But so anyway, with all of that said, yes, this is a tarot forecast for the sign of Scorpio for the month of February 2019. And we're just going to go through your cards again, one by one here. And we're also going to make sure that we look and sound good real quick, since we did have other technical difficulties.
Look at you.
Let's make me watch an ad.
The power of the stock market in the palm of your hand. Can you notice the details?
One moment.
Hello, Scorpio, Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Rising.
Something's not right here. One moment. I think this is the one from earlier, in fact.
Let's deep spirit.
Yes, it is. I apologize for the delay, but there's nothing I can do about it.
There's nothing I can do about it.
Thank you. We do look and sound good. Technology. Swear to God. Anyway. So, starting over here, your current outside influences at the beginning of the month of February 2019 are represented here by the Fool. So this indicates a powerful new beginning for you at the beginning of the month. So the Fool, who is spontaneous, who follows his inspiration, his joy, his bliss. This is what the cards are calling on you to do at this time. Be creative. Don't feel stuck or whatever. Don't feel afraid to begin something new. Embrace a new beginning. It's time for you to break free. The Fool who follows his inspiration to the ends of the earth, who's all about following his bliss, his excitement, his joy. And going right along with that, see, I feel like I explained this much better in the first one before we got cut off, but well, that's just what happens, I guess. Your challenge card is the 10 of Wands, and it did come up reversed. I know various readers will say it doesn't matter, the challenge card, if it's upright or reversed, but I do usually read them reversed when they come up reversed, and this did. 10 of Wands reversed talks about the idea of letting go of a heavy burden, releasing a heavy burden, the relief from having carried a burden. So that's your challenge this month, is to let go of something that has been burdening you, something that you no longer have to carry around. Let go and be like the Fool, the card that this is crossing over. That's the overall message here. Let go and be free. Embrace the new beginning. It's time. The cards are saying it's time for you to go on a new adventure, a spontaneous new development, and let go of the burdens you've been carrying. All right, so for your underlying energy, everything forming a foundation of your current situation this month of February, You have the Ten of Swords reversed, so you have two tens in a row. Tens talking about the idea of completion and achievement, and especially Ten of Wands can talk about achievement, but again, completion. So completion of one phase, time for a new phase, like the Fool reminds us of. Ten of Swords reversed is narrowly escaping defeat, narrowly escaping a disaster. So you are fortunate, my dear Scorpions. You drew this card upright. Now, this could also talk about your environment, like the people around you and stuff like that. And so you might be sort of surrounded by that energy of like, oh, there was almost a disaster, but it didn't quite happen, and everything is basically okay. There's also the idea of like improving times, as we're also going to see with at least one card coming up here. So remember that is that's what's forming your foundation this month. That's what's at your back this month, is avoiding the disaster and improving times. All right, so I'm just going to take a quick sip of tea. It's a little bit hard to center myself after that technical difficulty, but I shall do my best. For the past, you have the Ace of Pentacles reversed, so this might have been some issue that you had to deal with. The Ace of Pentacles reversed can talk about the dark side of money, the dark side of wealth, and so you might have had a situation where you were challenged by some shady dealings, or maybe you were aware of some shady dealings going on in your midst. And obviously you're saying you don't want to have anything to do with that, and that might even be part of what we see with the Fool card. You know, you're ready to leave that crap behind and experience a powerful new beginning, a powerful new spontaneous development. Now, the Ace of Pentacles reversed itself can also be a new beginning, particularly in the area of work, career, and finance that did not go well, you know, like bad investments or something like that. You know, when the card's upright, it can indicate such great things, such positive things, windfalls and stuff like that. But reversed, of course, that energy is blocked, and so that indicates that you've likely been dealing with those sorts of situations in the recent past, new beginnings that were not good, or maybe even like something that was best to not be involved with, particularly financially. So for what you hope to achieve, you have the Six of Swords reversed. Well, Six of Swords reversed on its own is usually talking about not wanting to move on from something, having difficulty in moving on from something, but still needing to move on from something. And so it's like what you're saying this month is you are aware that there is something to move on from, something something that may be painful to let go of, but you are aware that you need to do it, and that is what you're reaching for. That's like your highest hope this month. Other than that, this, with it being a 6 corresponding to the 6th house, corresponding to the sign of Virgo, this could even be wanting to improve your health this month. That would be like a secondary possibility. But especially like moving on and into better times is really the strong probability here, particularly with the Fool card for your current outside influences. For the near future, first 1 or 2 weeks of the month, you have the Five of Cups reversed. So again, more about this idea of moving on and new beginnings. This indicates a recovery from sadness, disappointment, a broken heart, things of this nature, pain of all kinds. This is an improvement, a recovery from that. This is feeling more optimistic. Hell, with it being a 5, 5th house, it could even indicate having more fun. You know, we have that Fool card and whatnot again. So things looking up in the first 1 or 2 weeks of the month. And well, really, I guess at the very beginning of the month with the Fool card. For your attitude or position on the situation, about halfway through the month, you have the Queen of Swords reversed. So you may still be feeling, however, this month that you're not quite seeing everything clearly, that there is a blockage to your sight, your ability to make the right decisions and things of this nature. So that's a challenge. Make sure that you are thinking clearly, of course. Other than that, this can indicate an adult female air sign. That would be Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius that you might have potential conflict with. And so beware of that possibility. But other than that, again, yes, you might be feeling like you're not quite seeing things clearly, especially with some other cards coming up here. But I will tell you in advance a little bit right now, that situation does improve eventually. We'll get more into that here as we go. Beautiful cheekbones and eyes, you say. Oh, thank you. Happy to hear that. So for your outside force coming in, you have the Chariot. Now, this is not likely representing you, but instead someone or something coming at you. The Chariot, a person, could even be a situation. Now, very often this talks about determination and willpower and stuff like that. So someone around you who is determined and willful and whatnot, maybe even they're going to assist you in some way with their sophistication in that regard. Now, on the other hand, this card, particularly with its Cancerian connections, talks about deeply emotional things like needs, wants, desires, attachments, also assets and precious belongings, things of this nature. So, there might be a very emotional person coming your way or an emotional situation, things of this nature. Trying to think if there's anything else that is likely with this. Well, it could even be, with that Fool card, that this is part of like the new beginning, the sense of going somewhere, and almost more literal sense of the Chariot, something like a vehicle that takes you somewhere. Of course, it's card 7 of the major arcana, and you also have the 7 of Cups reverse coming up, so the 7th house of partnership and marriage and open enemies. So that could be something to keep in mind, maybe a new partnership coming your way. There's a number of dynamic and interesting possibilities here. It could even be a situation also where, unlike the beginning of the month where you have the Fool and you're encouraged to be very carefree and easygoing about things and stuff like that, later in the month with a Chariot, now it's time to have more of a healthy ego and be very focused and determined about things. So, you go with that which resonates with you, that which feels right with you and resonates with you. So for your hopes or fears, you have the Knight of Cups reversed. So this could be an adult male water sign that you are concerned about with the reversal. So water sign, that would be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. This might even be yourself, perhaps, concerned about yourself, about your own sophistication, stuff like that. Now, if it's not a person, the Knight of Cups so often does indeed talk about the idea of a lover, of a forthcoming romance and stuff like that. And we're kind of seeing that theme in this reading as we have been going. So with the reversal, it could be like a fear of a romance that went wrong, or a fear of a love interest that is not going the way that you want it to go, or like insincerity or something like that, whether it's happening now or has happened in the past. Because, of course, with that 6 of Swords reversed and what you hope to achieve, you are trying to move on from something this month. So there's that. Unfortunately, that's just in your hopes or fears. It is not reflecting anything that is literally, physically manifested. So for the outcome card, how you're finishing up the month of February, how all of this turns out, is the 7 of Cups reversed. So I was talking earlier about this idea of the Queen of Swords reversed, and like you might feel like you're not seeing things completely clearly. Ironically, as I'm saying that, the camera is getting blurry. Let's see if we can fix that. Okay. Well, the Seven of Cups reversed talks about a regaining of one's sanity, of seeing things clearly again, of coming to one's senses, perhaps even, of not feeling so overwhelmed by multitudinous options or by confusion or illusion or delusion. So basically, the idea is that the month ends on a much more clear and positive note. So the clarity that you are seeking this month, the new journey that you are going out on with that Fool card showing up, the conclusion is one of clarity, of sort of regaining your sanity, basically. And so, you know, with that Ten of Wands, if there's, for the challenge card, if there's something that you need to let go of, it looks like you're going to be able to let go of it. So I'm happy to say that. I wouldn't be saying that if that wasn't the truth, because I tell it like it is when I do my tarot readings, which you, being Scorpio, I'm sure appreciate. So you could literally donate even just $1, and I'll give you a tarot reading on anything you want. That would be through PayPal or Super Chat. Again, that's most often on Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays. Sometimes I'll do them, sometimes I won't. It just kind of varies right now. So you can subscribe if you're not subscribed already, so you can see when I go live and do those if you're interested in that. And other than that, I hope that you enjoyed, and like you're in for an interesting month, an exciting new journey to go on. So thanks so much, Scorpio. And at this point, I'm going to turn it over and read the comments, and then we'll completely wrap it up. Aries and Uranus are close right now, but not conjunct. I see it as a big energy drive, an opportunity to pour energy into something you want to do. Uranus is finishing up its transit through Aries, yes. And that blur just keeps plaguing us. Yeah, things are going to shift in March significantly for all of us when Uranus re-enters Taurus. That's going to be interesting. Seven of Cups, glamour, fakery. Yes, it can be, I suppose, but this was a Seven of Cups reversed, so that's fortunate. Reversions are only there for the wise. I see. I think I know what you're getting at. All right, so thanks for watching, those who have watched. Thanks for those who watch in the future, and I hope to see you next time.